Hey guys, today we are playing some Oxygen Not Included. Let's start out by naming the colony. I'm gonna go with, let's see, nope. Yep, nope. Because this is gonna be just terrible. Everybody's gonna die. We're gonna have no oxygen, no food, and we're in the middle of a planet. That's just wonderful. Okay, we're in the middle of a planet in a place we don't know or anything about. Let's just start by making a base. I'm gonna start by digging out all of this. I usually like to make it 4 tiles tall because that gives room for everything, including decor and all the buildings. As well as the starting thing is just 4 tall. You want to stay away from that water. Try to go up a level to get to that water, which is convenient. We can get better digging. So I've started them digging out where they're gonna be. At the very beginning we need to have an outhouse because we don't want them being all over the floor like cats and dogs. And tip, when you're building in between floors, it's nice to have 2 tiles in between because that leaves 1 space for a ladder, and when you get later into the game, it leaves 1 space for a pole for them to slide down much faster. So I'm just gonna ladder up quite a bit because I'm gonna use that sometime. Yeah, I want to leave this oxalate here as fast as possible so I don't have to build oxygen generation anytime soon. I'm building tile around the place because it makes them run faster and increases the core. So they aren't angry. I don't want anybody vomiting on the floor. That won't be very nice. Let's cancel this oxalate. You really want to start having farms as soon as possible in the game because see here, these can harvest and get some food value, but they're not going to give you much for a very long time, and this 16 cal isn't going to do very good in the long term. And it's nice that I spawned in a place with a bunch of algae and metal and coal, because that's what you use most in the game. For power, most of the things are very inefficient. Coal generation is usually the most power efficient for what it uses. Then algae for oxygen generation. If there was no algae, you'd die. Yeah, you'd die. No question about it. What's over here? You see bubbles floating up. Weird. I don't know. This game's really cool. It's fun having. It's just one of the best colony sims I've ever played. I'm gonna speed this up. So I need to start planning out where I'm gonna put stuff. I'm thinking probably down here, like right around here. I'm gonna put some farms, or over here. And I need to flow this water into here to make 1 large flow of water, so I don't have to deal with having 2. So I can use up this space for something that's more useful. In the beginning of the game, you don't want to set you really want to not set everything to 9 priority. If you set everything to 9 priority, then there's just no such thing as 9 priority anymore, because that 9 just becomes everything the same priority. And don't kill the hatches either, because later in the game you're going to want to farm them for coal. It's very helpful because you don't get much coal otherwise in the game. Let's see how the bladders are. Yeah, I need to build an outhouse as soon as possible. I think I should build it over here. I'm going to start preparing with 4 outhouses because I'm going to have 4 duplicates eventually. Then I'm going to leave a space for a shower. I really want their schedules to have as much morale as possible, because if they get too stressed, they're not going to be able to work very easily, so I'm just going to add an extra downtime to each side. That'll give them more morale, and they'll be happier. So I'll be able to add more skills. Duplicate skills, it takes morale the more they learn. So if I have as much morale as possible, they can learn more. Okay, let's just set this high priority because we need this right here. The outhouses. Okay, they're blighted at 100%. This could be bad. Come on. So close. This could be really bad. Ah, darn it. Come on, Gossman. They need to mop this up. Come on, you know better than to just pee everywhere. Come on, they're in an outhouse for a reason. I don't really have to worry about that anymore because I have the outhouses up. Let me just assign these outhouses. It's good if you assign them because it just cross-contamination. It's bad. Looks like the germ count on that water bottle is going down, so I hope this watered it. So far, this is looking pretty good. There's nothing really much more I could say about setting it up, rather. Yeah, about cycle 3 is where you should start building some oxygen diffusers. Right on, just one on each level should be good. Build some power generators so we can actually power those. Let's build that up here. Probably a better idea if these run the other side, so I have more space over there. On one side I usually add oxygen generators, and on the other side I add on the other side I usually add some air filters. Helps keep polluted oxygen out as well as keep oxygen generating. I'm gonna start opening up this space to I've started to set up this space as farming, because farming is really necessary. You want to start farming as early in the game as you really can. If you don't, then food's gonna be a big trouble if you don't. But I usually go by 4 planter boxes per person, usually 5, just to be safe. But it's definitely good to start farming as early as possible. And also another reason why the farming down here is because the plants can live in carbon dioxide as well as living in oxygen. So if I have them on the bottom, I don't have to worry about bringing oxygen up to them, rather than just carbon dioxide can just settle down into them. See, any good blueprints? Now, the first blueprint we usually go to is try to get someone who is a doctor, because the main people I need is researching, obviously to research more stuff, digging, because stuff like diamond and abyssalite you can't dig unless they've skilled up, and also ranching, because ranching's super helpful in getting coal as well as other minerals, whatever they farm for. And I'm just gonna reject all these because none of these are really that good. And if you also have the buildings on the battery side of the generator, it doesn't overload as much. Because a lot of times buildings will just lose power rather than the wires overloading and breaking. I'm gonna set the generator currently at a priority 6 because I really want these oxygen diffusers going, because I really want oxygen starting to build up everywhere. And if you have oxygen building up, then the carbon dioxide wants to go down farther. Also, having the generator up at a 6 will help you when you're at this stage when you don't have actual manual generation, or actually having the generator up at a higher priority, they will always be supplied resources and you'll always have power. Because when you have a fridge, you don't want to lose power and your food will spoil. So I've set up the plumber so I can get water for the wash basin. Because if I go to the germ tab, there's plenty of germ stuff. The wash basin helps to decrease the amount of germs you have, keeping your duplicants less sick. I also choose for my duplicants to be quick learners, because if they learn quicker, I can upgrade their skills quicker. I'm just gonna cancel this. I don't need to go up that far yet. So when I'm going up here, I gotta watch out for the slime, because slime lung is probably the worst thing that I could get right now. I don't have any medical compounds or anything to cure that. If I take a look at the temperature, it looks like the entire base is pretty good. The thing is I chose a world that doesn't have any large glaciers, because large glaciers are usually pretty bad because you don't want your duplicants getting too cold. As well as crops, it's pretty bad if your crops get too cold because they stop growing. It looks like the farm area is good, so I need to start researching stuff. I'm gonna build this research station so I can research how to build more things. And when I go to priorities, I usually give people higher priorities than what they're better at. Like, I don't want these yokels researching stuff as much as, because they aren't gonna do as quick, rather as Gossman. As well as digging is gonna be a higher priority for him because he's better at it, it's gonna be quicker. Ranching, I want him to be doing it. Attacking, he's better at attacking. So I'm gonna start researching stuff. The first thing I was gonna research is planting pots. Researching planter pots is gonna give you food. You're gonna want to start creating food as quick as possible, because if you don't, cut that. I want to start building storages pretty soon, because it's annoying when you run out of storage when you're trying to tidy that stall. Because if I go to decor, all the stuff on the ground decreases decor, contributing to loss of morale. I really love this game. It's a very well made game. It's a very well thought out game. Yeah, this game's made by the same creators that made Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together. Also very two good games. So I can start giving duplicate skills. So digging is necessary because they vary for material digging. They can dig stuff that's hard to dig rather than the other duplicates can. And they also get a morale bonus for researching stuff that they like doing. So it looks like they're done researching planter boxes, so I'm just gonna fill up this entire thing right here with planter boxes and just have them start digging it. So they finished building planter boxes, so I'm just gonna start planting mealwood. Mealwood, it doesn't take any light or any special thing besides the correct atmosphere and water and dirt. So they're usually the easiest to start off with, but they don't give you the most amount of calories. There's a new printable available. Hatch eggs. That having as much hatches as you really can is super helpful when you need more coal. Because coal, best way to create power in my opinion. Let's build a bottom to this floor. I need to build some cots, some barracks for the duplicates. I usually make rooms with 4 spaces, enough for a comfy bed later in the game when you have plastic. Right now I have it set up to prepare for 4 duplicates. 4 duplicates is just a good number to have. You can, because 3 duplicates you can't really do as much. You can't do very much stuff. Cut it. Cut. I finished the bed area, so I'm just gonna start assigning beds to them. They will automatically assign it, but it's just helpful if you assign it for them. They're more likely to go to it. So the thing I'm gonna start researching now is fridges, because you don't want your food to go bad. But before you can even research fridges, you have to research advanced research so you can build a supercomputer. The funny thing about that, it goes from water coolers to supercomputers. It's just wonderful. The idea of just going from water coolers to supercomputers is a funny idea. If I set the planter box as high priority, they're just gonna deal with the plant more. And if I set the rations box up to a higher priority than that, it's automatically gonna move the stuff that it grows to the ration box after it's harvested. Oh no, Gothma has food poisoning. Let's see. Don't see anywhere that's food. When the ration box isn't refrigerated. So that's probably how we got food poisoning. I now have a supercomputer, so I can research much more than I could before. Researching a supercomputer, one of the first things you do, because most everything uses supercomputer resource. Getting the supercomputer first is necessary because basically everything uses supercomputer research except for like the very beginning stuff. The second you start branching out, and you're gonna need to get it. But most of the stuff that doesn't require that, you're not really gonna need, or you're only gonna need mainly the stuff that doesn't require advanced research for a long time in the game. As long as you have oxygen generation, going to a vacuum is usually safe, because the vacuum is just gonna suck up air into it, but as long as you have stuff still generating, it should be fine. New duplicate, let's see what it is. Wow, this is really lucky. I usually don't get this many hatchling eggs, and when the hatchlings hatch, the hatches produce coal. Yeah, the hatches produce coal and then use coal to create power. Okay, we have finished researching the fridge. After I built the fridge, the food would no longer go bad. So I'm gonna end the video off on this. I've built the farm, I've built storage, I've built the barracks, I've built a restroom, and I have power going. That should be good for this episode. See you guys next time.